Good morning, children. So, I welcome all of you once again to Buoyant Study Circle. So, today we are going to discuss part 3 of structure of atom of 10th class physical science. So, today our topic is electronic configuration. Electronic configuration of elements. So, today we will learn how to write the electronic configuration of elements, right. So, first what do you mean by electronic configuration, right. So, as we discussed in our earlier class, there are subatomic particles. So, they are protons, electrons, neutrons. So, protons and neutrons are located in the nucleus. So, they are not moving anywhere, right. They are placed in the, they are located or they are residing in the nucleus, and electrons are revolving around the nucleus in circular orbits, right. And also we discussed the quantum numbers, which gives the complete address of the electrons. In quantum numbers, we discussed the principal quantum number, which gives complete information about the main shells or the main orbits around the nucleus. And in the second quantum number, that is azimuthal quantum number, it gives the information about the subshells. The subshells present are S, P, D, F, like that. And in the third quantum number, that is magnetic quantum number, that gives the information about the orbitals present in the subshells, right. And the fourth quantum number, that is spin quantum number, that says that in any orbital 2 electrons can be accommodated with anti-parallel spins. That means 2 electrons can be accommodated, one is spinning around clockwise and other is in anti-clockwise. So, 2 electrons can be accommodated in an orbital, right. So, now you came to know that there are main shells, there are subshells, there are orbitals, and in each orbital 2 electrons can be accommodated, right. So, based on that knowledge, what is electronic configuration? So, the distribution of electrons into main shells, subshells and orbitals in an atom is called electronic configuration. Electronic configuration, right. So, what do you mean by electronic configuration? The distribution of electrons into main shells, subshells and orbitals in an atom is called electronic configuration. That means, we are going to write the electrons into main shells, subshells and orbitals, right. You know that what are main shells, right. So, the main shells are indicated by the principal quantum number, right. So, that is first, second, third and fourth, like that. Already in the last class we discussed that the maximum number of electrons that can be accommodated into a main shell can be given by the formula 2n square. So, 2n square. So, the maximum number of electrons that can be accommodated in the first shell is 2, and in the second shell are 8, and third shell 3 square means 18, right, and fourth shell 32, like that, right. So, in this way you can distribute the electrons into first shell, first main shell 2 electrons can be distributed, and in the second shell maximum 8 electrons can be distributed, and in the third shell 18 can be distributed, fourth shell 32 can be distributed, and in the fifth shell 50 electrons can be distributed. So, this is the distribution of electrons into the main shell. Then you know the subshells, S orbital, S subshell, P subshell and D subshell and F subshell, right. So, in S subshell there is only one orbital. So, that is why in S subshell the maximum number of electrons that can be accommodated are 2, and in P subshell there are 3 orbitals, you know that Px, Py, Pz. So, 3 into 2 6 electrons can be maximum accommodated, and D subshell there are 5 orbitals. So 5 into 2, 10 maximum can be distributed, and in F there are 7 orbitals. So that's why 14 electrons can be maximum distributed, right? So and in each orbital, for example, in S subshell how many orbitals are present? Only 1 orbital. So in this one, each orbital can be given only, it can be filled with 2 electrons only. That's why, so 1 orbital, 1 into 2, 2. So each orbital can be filled with 2 electrons, right? So they are with anti-parallel spins. One is clockwise and other is anti-clockwise, right? So in this way, if you know the fundamentals, that means what are the maximum number of electrons into the main shell, and what are the maximum number of electrons that can be into the subshell, and what is the maximum number of electrons that can be filled into the orbital, right? So here is the information, and here are the subshells, and in each orbital you can write 2 electrons, right? So this is the distribution of electrons into main shells, subshells and orbitals. So this writing or the distribution of electrons into main shells, subshells and orbitals is called electronic configuration, right? And there is a shorthand notation to write the electronic configuration. That shorthand notation is NLX. NLX. So here N indicates the principal quantum number. N indicates the principal quantum number, right? So for example, we will come across the example later on. So what is L here? L means, you know that is azimuthal quantum number. Azimuthal quantum number, right? And X is the number of electrons. Number of electrons, right? So this is the shorthand notation to write the electronic configuration. In the form of NLX, you can write the electronic configuration. Here N means principal quantum number, and L means azimuthal quantum number, and X means number of electrons that can be write into the subshell, right? For example, if you want to write the electronic configuration of hydrogen, which is the simplest element, that is the first element in the periodic table, as you know that its atomic number is 1 and the number of electrons equal to atomic number, so it is having only 1 electron, right? So 1 electron means first it is filled into the first main shell, so that's why the principal quantum number shows 1. And in the first main shell, how many subshells are present? Equal to N, so only 1 subshell is present, that is S, so 1s, and only 1 electron is filled. So in S subshell, how many electrons can be filled? 2. So here is only 1 present, that's why 1s1, right? So you can write the electronic configuration of hydrogen as 1s1. So here 1 means principal quantum number N. That means by knowing this value of N, you can say that it belongs to which main shell. So here this electron belongs to first main shell, right? And by seeing the subshell here, what is the subshell? This electron is filled into S subshell, right? So this is the main shell and this is the subshell. And then in subshell, how many electrons can be filled into S? 2. But here only 1 is present, that's why 1 you can write here. So 1s1 means it belongs to first main shell and the S main subshell, and 1 electron is filled into the orbital. So in this way you can write the electronic configuration in the form of NLX model or NLX shorthand notation, right? So in NLX, what is N? Principal quantum number, L azimuthal quantum number, right? So that is about the subshells. So what is the L value for S? 0, for P 1, for D 2, for F 3. Okay, so already you have come across in the quantum numbers discussion, right? So in this way you can write the electronic configuration of elements, right? Then how to write the electronic configuration of elements which are having more than 1 electron, right? So if you want to write the next element, helium, lithium, beryllium, boron, like that. So if you want to write the electronic configuration of elements which are having more than 1 electron, you have to come across or you have to know some more principles or rules. Okay, so now you are going to learn the rules. The first rule is our first principle is half bow principle. What is that? Half bow principle, right? So, what is half bow principle? Half bow principle says that, right, the lowest energy orbital should be filled first and then highest energy orbital, right? So, what is half bow principle? The lowest energy orbital should be filled first and then highest energy orbital. So, when you are writing the electrons into orbitals, right, you should write or you should fill the orbital which is having lowest energy first and then highest energy, right. In that way, lowest energy to highest energy in order you have to fill the electrons. Then how to know the energy, right? How to know the energy? So, the energy value of orbital is known from its n plus L value, right, from its n plus L value, right. So, what is n here? Principal quantum number, and what is L value? Azimuthal quantum number. So, when principal quantum number and azimuthal quantum number are added, you will get some value. Based on that value, you can decide the energy of the orbital. Okay. For example, so in the first shell, what are the subshells present? You know that 1s, and in the second 2s 2p, and in the third 3s 3p, and in the fourth 4s 4p, sorry 3s, in the third 3s 3p 3d, and in fourth 4s 4p 4d 4f, and in the fifth 5s 5p 5d 5f, like that. So, if we want to know the energy value of 1s orbital, you have to find out n plus L value of this. Now, here in 1s, what 1 shows, that is the principal quantum number. So, n value here it is 1, and s subshell, for s subshell what is the L value? Already we discussed yesterday, that is 1, right. So, 0. So, that means total value is 1. So, what is the n plus L value for 1s orbital? 1, right. And for 2s, what is the n plus L value? N plus L value. So, here 2 indicates the principal quantum number, n value 2, and for s L value is 0. So, that means 2. So, among 1s and 2s, the n plus L values are 1 and 2. That means which is having lowest value? 1s is having lowest value 1 and 2s is having highest value 2. That means according to half bow principle, which orbital you have to fill first? Lowest energy orbital. That means the orbital which is having lowest n plus L value. So, among 1s and 2s, which is having lowest n plus value, lowest energy value 1s. So, first you have to fill 1s, then you have to go for 2s, right. And among 2s and 2p, right, for example, you have to calculate n plus L value for 2p. So, here n value is 2 and for p L value is 1. So, the total value is 3, right. So, among 2s and 2p, the n plus L value for 2s is 2 and n plus L value for 2p is 3. So, that means 2s is having lowest value and 2p is having highest value. That means among 2s and 2p, which is filled first? 2s is filled first, then come to 2p, right. In the way, you can arrange the energy of orbitals with the diagram called Moeller diagram, right, Moeller diagram. So, that shows the energy of orbitals, the way in which you have to fill the orbitals, right. 1s, 2s, 2p, 3s, 3p, 3d, 4s, 4p, 4d, 4f, phi s, phi p, phi d, phi f, 6s, 6p, 6d, 6f, 7s, 7p, 7d, 7f, right. So, as we have 7 periods in the periodic table, so I am writing up to 7 orbits, 7 main shells, right. So, this is the way, right, to fill the electrons. So, this is Euler's diagram which shows the energy of the orbitals or the order in which the orbital should be filled, right. So, according to Euler diagram, first 1s is filled, then come to 2s, then 2p, then 3s, then 3p. Here observe children, after 3p we are not moving into 3d, we are moving into 4s, right. Why are moving into 4s after 3p? So, that means you have to calculate 3d and 4s energy values, right, 3d and 4s energy values. For example, for 3d, what is the n plus L value, right. So, here 3 indicates the principal quantum number, n value, and for d, L value is 2, that means 5, its energy value is 5. And 4s orbital, for example, 4s orbital, so n value is 4 and for s L value is 0, that means 4, right. Among 3d and 4s, which is having lowest energy? 4s is having lowest energy, not 3d. So, that is why after filling 3p, we are not moving into 3d, we are moving into 4s. After 4s, you are coming into 3d, right. So, this is the way, that means according to the n plus L value, orbitals are arranged according to their energy value. So, using the Euler diagram, you can fill the electrons. Okay. So, this is the Aufbau principle, right. So, Aufbau principle says that lowest energy orbital should be filled first, then highest energy orbital, right. So, how to know the energy value? According to the n plus L value of the given orbital, right. So, this is the way to calculate. So, all the orbitals according to their n plus L value are arranged and shown by the Euler diagram. So, using the Euler diagram, you can fill the electrons. In some places you come across, that means before 3d 4s is filled because 4s is having lowest energy than 3d. So, that is why 4s is filled first. In the same way, before 4d 5s filled because 5s is having lowest energy than 4d. So, in that way it can be filled, right. So, this is about the Aufbau principle, right. And the second principle, that is Hund's rule. Hund's rule, right. So, Hund's rule says that when electrons are filled into degenerate orbitals, each orbital should be filled with single electron first and then pairing should take place. Right. So, this is the statement by Hund's rule. Hund's rule says that when electrons are filled into degenerate orbitals, each orbital should be filled with single electron first, then pairing should take place. What are degenerate orbitals? Yesterday we discussed. In p subshell, there are 3 orbitals. What are they? Px, Py, Pz. So, for example, if it is 2p, 2px, 2py, 2pz. So, in p subshell there are 3 orbitals and these 3 orbitals are having same energy. So, the orbitals with equal energy are called degenerate orbitals, right. For example, In P, how many electrons can be maximum filled? 6 electrons. You know that 6 electrons can be filled maximum into P. So whenever you are distributing the electrons into P subshell, right, you have to fill according to the Hund's rule. So first you have to fill single electron into each orbital, and then if electrons are available more, you have to pair the electrons like this, right? So if you write like this 1, 2, 3, if you write like this, according to Hund's rule, it is wrong, because you are not distributing equally into degenerate orbitals. Each orbital should be given 1 electron, but you are not giving 1 electron to this. So this is violating the Hund's rule. According to Hund's rule, you have to fill each orbital with 1 electron first, and then pairing should take place. So what is the correct way to write this? This is the correct way, right? So if you write like this, this is violation. So that means according to Hund's rule, when you are filling the electrons into degenerate orbitals, each orbital first filled with single electron, then pairing should take place, right? For example, if P1 is present, you can write 1. If P2 are present, you can write like this. If P3 are present, you can write like this. If P4 are present, then already 3 filled, then pairing starts. If P5, second pair. If P6, third pair. Like this, you have to write the electrons or distribute the electrons into the degenerate orbital. This is the Hund's rule, right? So while distributing the electrons into orbitals, you have to take care that whether you are following Hund's rule or not. While distributing the electrons into degenerate orbitals, you have to fill or distribute the electrons according to Hund's rule. So each degenerate orbital should be given 1 electron each, then pairing should take place. Okay. So this is the Hund's rule. Then the last rule, that is Pauli's exclusion principle. Pauli's exclusion principle, right? So what Pauli's exclusion principle says that no two electrons in an atom have same set of quantum numbers. Same set of quantum numbers. So the statement of Pauli's exclusion principle is no two electrons in an atom have same set of quantum numbers. So what are quantum numbers? The principal quantum number, azimuthal quantum number, magnetic quantum number, and spin quantum number, right? So if you observe the quantum numbers of any two electrons in the atom, they should not equal, or the set of 4 quantum numbers should not be equal for any two electrons, right? If they are having same set of NLM, but they differ in the spin quantum number, right? So this says that in an orbital 2 electrons can be filled, so one should be clockwise, other should be anti-clockwise. That means one is having plus half value, other is having minus half value. So by at least spin quantum number only, or at least spin quantum number differs when you are writing the electrons, right? So from this you can derive that an orbital can accommodate only 2 electrons, okay, with anti-parallel spins. Anti-parallel spins, that means 2 electrons can be filled into orbital, one with clockwise spin and other is with anti-clockwise spin. So that means plus half value and minus half value, right? So this is the Pauli's exclusion principle, right? According to Pauli's exclusion principle, you can say that no two electrons are having the same set of quantum numbers, at least they differ in spin quantum number, because in an orbital 2 electrons can be filled maximum. This is the another statement of Pauli's principle. So at there, one electron is having plus half value, other electron is having minus half value, okay? So in this way, using the half-bow principle, Hund's rule and Pauli's exclusion principle, you can write the electronic configuration of the elements, right? So for example, we try to write 2 or 3 elements, right? For example, you can take the carbon C whose atomic number is 6, right, whose atomic number is 6. So, you know that the number of electrons are equal to atomic number. So, now in carbon how many electrons are present? 6 electrons are present. Now, you have to distribute these 6 electrons into main shells, subshells and orbitals according to the learned principles, Hofbauer rule, Hund's rule and Pauli's rule, right. Now, as you are a 10th class students or you are writing for the first time electronic configuration, I am going through the simple method. So, whenever you are trying to write the electronic configuration, you just take the lines, right, 6 lines. For example, here 6 electrons are present, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right. Now, so try to distribute the electrons according to the Euler diagram, right. So, first which orbital is filled? 1s orbital is filled, right. So, you take 1s. How many electrons can be filled into 1s orbital maximum? In s orbital 2 electrons can be filled, right. So, you strike off 2 lines. So, write 1s2 here, right, and then next orbital is 2s orbital. So, you write the 2s orbital, right. So, second main shell and s subshell. So, in 2s also you can fill maximum 2. So, that is why 2s2 and then cancel 2 here. How many left? 2 left. The next orbital is 2p, right, next is 2p, right. So, in 2p maximum can be filled are 6, but here how many are available? 2 available. So, you can write 2p2. Okay. So, for example, 1s2, 2s2, again if you go deep, there are 3 degenerate orbitals px, py, pz, that means 2px, 2py, 2pz. So, according to Hund's rule, there are 2 electrons. So, one in 2px and other in 2py, right. So, you can write the electronic configuration like this only, 2px1, 2py1 or 2p2, right. So, according to Euler diagram, so with increasing order of energy, you have to select the orbitals and you have to distribute the electrons, right. So, what is the electronic configuration of carbon? 1s2, 2s2, 2p2 or 1s2, 2s2, 2px1, 2py1, right. Children, can you write the electronic configuration of sodium? Sodium, right, sodium. What is the atomic number of sodium? 11. So, 11, take 11 lines, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, right. So, what is the first orbital should be filled? That is 1s. So, in s 2 can be filled. So, 1s2, strike off 2 and then what is the second orbital? 2s. In 2s also you can fill maximum 2, 2s2 and then 2p. In 2p maximum 6 can be filled. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 can be filled, 2p6. Then how many electrons left? Already 10 are filled. So, 1 is left. Next orbital is 3s. So, in 3s maximum you can fill 2, but available is only 1. So, that is why 3s1. So, 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s1, right. So, in this way you can write the electronic configuration. Children, can you write the electronic configuration of calcium, which is 20, right. So, 20 lines 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, right. So, first is 1s2, strike off 2, then is 2s, 2s2 and then is 2p, 2p6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then 3s, 3s2 and then after 3s 3p, 3p, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are available. So, 3p6 can be filled and how many are left? 2 are left, right. So, next orbital not 3d, next after 3p you are coming into 4s, that is why 4s can be filled, maximum 2 are available. So, 4s2, right. So, you can write the electronic configuration like this: 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s2, right. So, this is the simple way to write the electronic configuration. Children, you can try the electronic configuration from 1 to 30 elements. 1 to 30 elements, that means hydrogen to zinc. Okay. So, you try to write the electronic configuration in this way using the Euler diagram and Hofbauer, Hund's and Pauli's principle, right. So, try to write the 20 and make a list in the notes. Okay. So, next in the next class we will discuss about the characteristics of light and properties of light, and we will do some calculations regarding wavelength, frequency and remaining chapter of the remaining part of the lesson, right. Thank you and stay tuned to Buoyant Study Circle.